Κυρίες και κύριοι, γεια σας. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. The title of our production is Υπαρχει Θεμα. If it is to translate it in English, it is there is an issue. And today I will speak in English. Sorry, my English are not perfect because I didn't live in an English-spoken country, and I learned myself from the school, myself, and with my clients, speaking with my clients. So, just forgive me. Today, I have two friends with us. Welcome, Mrs. Ellinas, to our production.
Thank you.
And Mr. Machkour. Welcome to this panel.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We will speak today about business in the planet. You are in one country and you are working for many other countries. All the planet became a common market. And Cyprus, of course, is not out of this game. Many people from Cyprus, Cypriots, they can work, and the target and their business are not in Cyprus, have to do the whole planet. And some people from other countries, they come to Cyprus, establish, live with their families, and work from Cyprus. And especially Mr. Mo, he will explain to us how you can do business, of course, being in Cyprus and working in this complicated international network. First of all, I will, of course, welcome Mr. Andrew, as we said, and we would like to give us in few words your experience being in Cyprus for the last 5 years, of course, for retirement. But you have the chance to, let's say, like a cardiography of our country.
Well, can I go back a bit before then? Because you talked about people working in other countries. My father was Cypriot, and he left Cyprus in 1948 and went to the UK, where he worked very, very hard. And the famous story he always told us as children was that he landed in, I think it was Southampton at that time, with £20 in his pocket.
20 pounds
and
in a foreign country.
In a foreign country. I think he stayed with a cousin somewhere in Southampton. He ended back up in London, and then over the course of many years, having worked very hard, he made a good business, and he also then came back to Cyprus and built a hotel on Famagusta Beach, which unfortunately was in 1972, which we then we lost in 1974. But it's interesting that many people, many Cypriots, have gone abroad and worked very hard and made money, but they all seem to want to come back to effectively the homeland and then to create other businesses here as well.
Okay, of course, we are very sorry for somebody to come and build one hotel, and before to accommodate the first people or after the first years, just to leave it and to be captured by the Turkish army. And until now, I understand it is closed in this closed country, closed town in Famagusta. And the second, you said many people, they went to a foreign country like UK with 20 pounds, some without any money, and they starting a new life in a foreign country. And now, about a century, let's say a century later, we see the opposite move. Many people, they come like workers, and they come from the sea, they come like invaders in the country just to survive from the poverty or from the war. And some other people, very professional and experts, come, they establish, and they do business, of course, in our country.
I think maybe the difference is, in those days, you needed to leave Cyprus if you wanted to make a big business.
Yes.
Now, I think it's possible to be in Cyprus and to create a very, very good business here.
Okay. So, Mr. Ellinas, he don't speak Greek, he's learning Greek. but he's a Cypriot. And he came 5 years ago to retire in the homeland. Mo, you are not Cypriot, nothing to do with Cyprus. Tell us, before to start, your story. How you came to Cyprus and how you decided to live and work here.
Wow, thank you. Well, my story is pretty simple in a sense. I came to visit a friend of mine, was my mentor, in order to be coached on how to build sustainable and grow a business that actually can grow. I've been always fascinated about business since I was literally a child. My technical background is obviously software. I worked for different companies, but my skill set, if that makes sense, was to find the money for the customer so that actually the business will thrive. So when I came to Cyprus, first of all, I saw a beautiful island. It was my first time when I came to Cyprus, and I like the heat. That's really something that I enjoy about Cyprus, especially in Paphos. And another thing I was watching when I was going around the city is full of opportunities. So for me, there was no brainer not to start my own venture here in Paphos.
Okay, we wish you success to your decision, to your business.
Thank you.
And I go back to Mr. Andrew. As, of course, I consider that you are a foreigner. You didn't grow in Cyprus, you didn't went to school in Cyprus, and you came as a foreigner. Even your father is a Cypriot, even your property, your hotel is in Famagusta. But coming from UK to Cyprus 5 years ago, tell me your opinion about this country, this island.
Well, I think there are, I think it swings and roundabouts. There are things here that are better than being in the UK, definitely. Lots of things, actually. Not just the weather, of course. That's a little bit flippant. And there are drawbacks as well. Starting and running a business in Cyprus can be quite challenging. It's difficult now with banks particularly moving money around because of the anti-money laundering regulations. That can be quite an obstacle at times. And it's the way that the institutions operate here is different to the UK and different, I think, from many other countries within Europe. And I don't know, Mo, whether you found that as well. And you have to get used to the way that things are done here. It's no good saying to people, that's not the way we do it elsewhere, because that is the way it is done in Cyprus. And in some ways it's better. And as I said, it swings and roundabouts. And in some ways it can be a hindrance.
Absolutely. So to build on that, one of the experiences I had compared to perhaps to the Netherlands, I lived in the Netherlands for about 7 years. And when I wanted to start my own business at the time, it took me 15 minutes and 50 euros to start a business. Mm-hmm. Total story when it comes to Cyprus, different regulations, different procedures, the language, all that barriers that can come across if you come from a different country and you are not used to that approach. Nevertheless, I kind of went through that as well. Yeah.
I think one of the good things I found here is that whereas, say, for instance, in the UK or a lot of Europe, when you're dealing with institutions, you're actually dealing with a computer. So you get to a situation where the computer just says no. Whereas here, at least, you do 99% of the time speak to a person. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a huge benefit.
Correct.
Okay, Mr. Mo,
mm-hmm.
I want to say to one person, let's say that is 16 years old, and he's trying to decide what to do in his life, how to make business, which direction, which way to follow. What would you suggest to a young Cypriot? Absolutely. What is the chance, the opportunities?
Well, as I said,
it's a very general question, but
yeah.
I live free that you can describe this advice.
I actually love the question, because I wish someone came when I was 16 and would have suggested what I would embrace. As I said, there's a lot of opportunities. When I say a lot of opportunities, that means I have the opportunity to compare what I experienced in the Netherlands, in Italy, and the UK. I lived in the UK for about 7 months. And in Cyprus, at least in Cyprus, everything that you could see, there's a chance to improve it or make it better. And if you're 16 years old, of course, you might need to start with one idea. A lot of youngsters nowadays, they use computers better than anybody else, and they might actually make a lot of money by just from their living room. And all it takes is one idea and a lot of learning. That's all.
Can give us more details.
Well,
describe one sample of this.
Okay. Well, like the easiest sample I can come up with is, let's say, it all boils down to the interest, of course. If it's the motivation is money, it's not gonna last for quite some time. But if the motivation is passion about a specific topic, let's say, as 16 years old, I'm trying to measure myself at 16 years old, and I like t-shirts. You could literally set up a business within 3 days to do a drop shipping with your own logos, designs that you would make, especially with AI nowadays. It's pretty simple. From the comfort of your home. Obviously, you need some legal side and legal support. That means how to set up the business from the legal side of having a business account and all of that. But with few clicks, you can literally go online and be your own boss, if that makes sense.
Thank you very much. Mr. Andrew, I know that you are cooperating or working for an English TV station. And you are here in Cyprus, and you are doing this. This is the one that I want to describe. And of course, the question, if you were 30 years younger, you will do a professional move to Cyprus?
If the technology 30 years ago was as it is today, then the answer to that is yes. I mean, it is amazing what the technology allows you to do now. It can't be more than 10 or 15 years ago. You'd probably need a truck, you'd need 4 or 5 engineers, you'd need IDSN lines. It would be a very complicated thing to do. Now, you can do it with a laptop. It's incredible.
Myself, I would like to say one experience. I am architect, I have an architectural office, and many people, they pass from my office. And it was one couple, they came from UK. And after we worked together to make the drawings for their house in Beja, I asked them, well, how you make your money, what is your job? And they said, we are selling materials and parts for central heatings. It was the time of the central heatings. Okay. 2-3 months later, it was to go to UK, and I say, I would like to pass from your showroom and see your shop. Which shops? He said. You are selling things. There is not any shop, they said. If there was a shop, we wouldn't be here with money. We are selling from internet. Everybody order and deliver the things, and we will never meet any client. It's online. So the trade can be online. Of course, is the times of the delivering companies, isn't it? But the most important, and it is last months, not years, last year, artificial intelligence is how to concentrate the network knowledge and give a direction. Can you introduce us to these chances that the AI gives this era?
Okay, sure. So because before I even start, I would like to give a little bit of a broad vision of what artificial intelligence is. Artificial intelligence is basically a computer reasoning as a human being. Artificial intelligence is not something for a few months. It has been around for many, many years, about more than 20 years probably. And the evolution of it is because now we had
common use.
A common use basically became, it's like the end user like us, but it has been used by institutions. AI has been around for quite some time. The beauty of AI, if you will, and there's also let's say the bad side of it, how it could be potentially harmful for us in that sense, especially when it comes to fact checking and information that it could put out as an output. So let's just take a simple example. Interaction with AI that allow you to reason and solve problems that you wouldn't be able to solve literally months ago in a short amount of time. And we already see examples where you could interact fully from the beginning to the end in business with AI, where the whole sales process is taken care of an AI. So you speak to an AI and you have the feeling you speak to a human being. So the sales calls can be basically conducted by an agent. And we have examples for that. It's not I'm coming up with these ideas. Literally has been proven. I had a conversation today with a friend of mine. A company, they did conduct an experiment of a selling AI and a selling agent. And they fired, I think, about 60 people in their sales company and saved about 17 million.
But that's the threat of AI, isn't
it? That's right.
That's one of the threats.
That's
because there are a number of jobs that are really at risk.
Correct.
I mean, they're talking about lawyers being at risk. There are radio stations in America now where there are no presenters. It sounds like there are people introducing music and reading news, but actually it's AI doing it. That's happening in the movies. There are movies now where the actors are actually digitally created. There's I don't know whether you've seen the new Tom Hanks film called Here, where they have actually digitally de-aged him. So they brought him back so he looks like he's in his 20s, all done by AI.
Correct.
AI is a benefit, it's also a threat.
That's right.
Okay, at this stage, my friends, I would like to make a small advertising break. And please, if you consider this production interest, when you see, share it to your accounts, to your friends. A small break.
Από το 1980 η εταιρεία καύσων προσφέρει στο κοινό της Κύπρου ηλιακά συστήματα άριστης ποιότητας, τα οποία αντέχουν στο χρόνο. Διασφαλίζουμε την ποιότητα των προϊόντων μας με την εξασφάλιση συστημάτων ποιότητας ISO 9001 και 2000, ώστε να είστε σίγουροι ότι οι ηλιακοί θερμοσύφωνες καύσων θα σας προμηθεύουν με ζεστό νερό για πολλά χρόνια κάτω από οποιασδήποτε καιρικές συνθήκες. Σκέφτεστε να τοποθετήσετε ή να ανανεώσετε τον ηλιακό σας θερμοσύφωνα? Ζητήστε να ενημερωθείτε σήμερα για τις καταπληκτικές τιμές μας και την ποικιλία των προϊόντων μας. Επισκεφτείτε μας στο ιδιόκτητο εργοστάσιό μας στην Κολώνη ή καλέστε μας στο 7081-82, γιατί ηλιακοί θερμοσύφωνες σημαίνει καύσον.
Ναι, γίνεται. Με RED, στο δίκτυο καταστημάτων κινητής τηλεφωνίας Χατζημιτσί, εξουσιοδοτημένο συνεργάτη της ΣΥΤΑ. Πάρτε τώρα οποιαδήποτε συσκευή iPhone, iPad ή Samsung με 0 αρχικό κόστος. Δίκτυο καταστημάτων κινητής τηλεφωνίας Χατζημιτσί.
Ladies and gentlemen, back to you. We want Mr. Mo to understand more about the AI. Not just that there is artificial intelligence as you described, but can be part of our business. Put this tool to work for us. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mo, he's established in Paphos. We can give you the way to have access. What is your telephone number?
+31.
+31.
64.
64.
74.
74.
27.
27.
943.
943.
Yes.
If anybody would like to have a professional contact with Mr. Mo and understand how can improve the business, how can establish his business, his work, using the AI, you can contact him. He's in Paphos and you can meet. online or real face-to-face.
Right.
Okay, give us more details about how somebody can use.
All right. So when it comes to AI, what I found out over like last 2 years I've been using it is that time to production, it's kind of go so quickly. Just give an example. A few weeks ago, I launched officially, legally, my company here in Cyprus. And of course, I don't have a graphical designer. I don't have a team. I didn't have, other than like the legal that I of course need to interact with. Everything was generated. You could see even my logo at some point here in the background. The logo that you guys see is AI generated. So for me to go and test my ideas so quickly in the market is the best way before you wait for, let's say if I would have designed my, just a product, any product I would like to launch in my company. The first thing I would do is obviously have a meeting with my team, organize an idea, do a brainstorming. It might take about 2-3 weeks before we can actually launch something in the marketplace. I do that in hours, without exaggeration. I give you an example. We launched quite recently a business networking events here in Cyprus because I wanted to also connect with like-minded people, digital nomads. It took us between launching the website, writing the copy and all of that, 2 days. That's how much it took. 2 days to be live. And we had 2 events, 25 people showed up to the first one and 30 people showed up to the second one.
So we could say effectiveness yeah. And compressing the time.
Correct.
So the production will be accelerate.
Correct.
Mr. Andrew, what was your business?
Radio, media and property.
Radio, media and property. Mr. Mo,
yes.
How you could help Andrew in these activities, business, professional activities, if it was to start today using the AI, what you could do?
Yeah, first of all, I would identify what are the bottlenecks in his business and what is could be automated. That's the first step I would do. So everything is manual. I would really go and automate those steps. And everything that is, I call creative job that you cannot really utilize AI unless you push it to the limit, leave it to the core business, to the creatives, the owners, or the people that are actually in the team. That's where AI would like be I would say a big impact in the business by itself. Okay, that's the first thing, automation. Okay, and everything that could be, let's say, imagine that you have an inquiry. Instead of reaching out to a client by yourself, allow the AI to collect their data, ask them questions, write a contract, send it for draft review, send it automatically, and you have a whole sales process done automatically. If you have a segment in the business that basically sends contracts outside. And all the data that is generated is trained on your core business. It's not like something that is drafted out of the blue. So you could train a little AI to learn about your business using your language, your message, your core offers, everything in context. And that's the beauty of the tools nowadays.
Andrew, it sounds very, very interesting. What do you think?
I'm just wondering whether architects are going to be saved from this new AI revolution, or is AI going to take over architectural practices as well? I mean, obviously there's creative, it's very creative in architecture, but I wonder whether, and this is a question for you, Vangelis, you know, do you think that architects are safe from AI?
The last half hour, I'm thinking how I can use these new tools. Of course, our job is a combination of science and art. The art is something very personal, even if you ask the AI to produce an artwork, is just like you make a photocopy more than is something that comes to interfere the community or to communicate.
Correct.
It's like a result, and art is not a result. Is how to say, challenge, how to say. The artist is
Inspiration.
thinking how I can change the world. The world. So I don't believe that will dramatically affect to my job, but for sure it can organize my relation with the people. I can tell you that using one team of Israeli programmers and one team of German consultants, we proposed to our government that we can transform the permitting system in Cyprus to happen automatically. At that time, we can release 300-400 people from the planning office and the building authorities. Will not be unemployed, Andrew. There is a lot of demand in our government, in our system, and they can do something else that they are really necessary. And we expect from the government to respond to our proposal. It's not just an idea, it was a written offer, and we gave them how much it will cost and how it can be happen. So about the permitting system, yes, we believe we can make miracles. And once we do it in Cyprus, we can export this knowledge, these systems to all other countries. The Israelis said we can sell it to many other countries. You know, the Israelis, they know how to sell. So, Andrew, even the negative consequences of using this technology, because it will affect not to people that can be unemployed, but the classical type of business to failure is possible. Because if somebody suddenly can do something much cheaper, you close the factory.
It's going to cause change. But I mean, you know, change is always difficult, and change has always meant that there are some people who have lost from it and some people who have gained from it. And then new industries emerge and those people move on to new jobs.
I remember, for example, my hobby is the photography, okay? I remember the negative films. It was Fuji, Kodak, Orwo, East Germany, Fuji, huge companies selling billions of films every day, and suddenly they close the job. All of them, they close because the photography is not anymore based on the negative chemistry.
Who would ever have thought that Kodak would not be here anymore?
And Fuji.
Huge company.
Huge companies. And it happens the same with the cameras. Myself, I love the Leica cameras. I love. It's the Rolls Royce of the cameras. But suddenly, these mobiles, they make better photos for the 90%. Okay, still they don't have the zoom facilities.
Got it.
But the photo in nowadays is not a photo of what you see in the land. It's a combination and a mixture of information. For this, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cameras in one so small and elegant tool. And suddenly, all this industry to make cameras, soon they will disappear unless they can make classical cameras, but using many lenses and
come up with something that is actually competitive. So to go back to what you said, the Kodak went out of the market. What probably I'm hearing is that the businesses that are not innovating, they will go out of business inevitably, whether with AI is the issue or other competitions. So innovations and marketing as the core essence to grow any business.
I think BlackBerry is a great example. I mean, you know, if you went back to the 80s, everybody had a BlackBerry. Everybody had a BlackBerry.
I remember.
And they did not recognize the threat that the iPhone presented. They tried to emulate it, and it was a terrible disaster. And BlackBerry now don't, well, actually the company still exists because they make the software that goes into cars.
Correct.
But the BlackBerry phone disappeared almost overnight. Again, not recognizing the threat that the iPhone presented. And that's synonymous with the threat that new technology presents.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, because if you think about any cycle, typically a cycle of 10 years, we see different technology or completely something new. It all boils down to one aspect. They are all interruptive. They interrupt the old way of doing things, and they come up with something that completely out of our imaginations. And now it's possible. What was not possible now is possible. Talking about AI and Kodak, imagine that you could really create beautiful images with AI, replicating the exact film, the exact size, the exact type of pictures you would have took with Kodak in the 1980 perhaps. Something like that. And the results are actually astonishing. Midjourney is an example.
I remember more when I came Cyprus, it was a big invention, the telex. The telex, it was one machine that could receive written messages. It was,
yeah.
And suddenly they came the fax machines.
Yeah.
With the fax machines, we throw out in the rubbish the telexes, and we use the fax. You remember?
I remember fax.
And it was miracle for us that they could produce a sketch, a photo in a paper.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly they came the internet, and we are sending emails, and even the courts in Cyprus, they recognize. It's evidence in the court.
Do you know what's interesting? There are some companies that are now using fax machines again because it's secure. It can't be intercepted.
I don't believe there is nothing that can be. And even the faxes, myself, I throw in the rubbish about 3 months ago the fax, because I asked my secretary, when did we receive the last fax? And she said 3 months ago. Throw away. Throw away, and I save also the 10, 15 euro, the telephone line for the CETA. Yeah. And even the email, myself, I don't like anymore the email. I use the WhatsApp, Viber, these media that are more accurate, with more functions. If somebody sends it to you, you receive it immediately. And the email, I didn't see, I don't know, I didn't receive it. Yeah. All these stories. All this, they describe how fast we changed the last years, the last decades. Correct. Completing our interesting conversation, I will give you the chance to tell to people how and where they can find you, and again, just repeat how you can help. Yeah. And then I will give the chance to Andrew to give his last word about this change in the world.
Absolutely. So, as I said, my interest is AI, but my core essence is personal development and growth and growing business. So I actually developed a business framework, is let's say 9-step framework that gets you from 0 to hero, or to grow business. And I'm actually running an event 8th of February. So I would like to invite people, they are interested in spending 2 days with us. And
what will happen?
8th of February, we're running an event where we actually go deeper in this aspect, how to build a business sustainable with systems.
You must advertise, of course, and send it to...
Yeah, well, we could do that. You could literally get a chance with at mo.coach, and you get access to that event. I would love to have you. Other than that, basically the conversation I would have is AI is around the corner, business is shifting, and if you have an idea, just try it. And the best way to find out if you succeed or not is to try. So I always say you cannot build on failure, you can only build on success, but you learn from failure.
More, this event will be real event
in person
or email?
No,
online.
In person. They see me physically.
You can see. You can eat.
You can eat as well.
Because unfortunately, online you cannot eat.
Yeah.
everything you can do, but you cannot eat food.
No, we offer some food as well, so they are more than welcome to spend some time with us. But
And
also,
where it will be?
we'll do it in Chlorica. That's
In
the
Chlorica.
idea. Beautiful place at the Zoria. So
Okay, we will give you information, of course.
yeah.
Andrew, after you make a big circle, I mean professionally, of your life, and seeing these challenges of our times, I would like to express your feelings, if it is about the future, if it will be a good future. And with all these interesting things, we will complete our production.
Well, I find technology fascinating, always have done. And I think there are so many interesting things happening at the moment, and so many great things that can be done with the new technology that is developing. And my goodness, it's developing so fast, isn't it? I mean, 5 years ago, we'd never heard of AI, and now it's everywhere. And although we don't know it, we're probably interacting with it almost all the time. So I think the future is very exciting, and I think Cyprus is a great place to be doing it.
Okay, thank you both. And I would like to advertise also there is a person in our control room, Mr. Elias, that he helped using the technology, Cyprus to export the communication. He installed in La Catania TV, it's one platform that he export to the internet all the Cyprus channels, all the classical TV. If you go to La Catania TV, you can watch anything you like on your mobile or your laptop, your PC. And yes, he helped the communication in Cyprus. Thank you both for your being here, and of course we can organize a new one with very specific subject. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you,
Thank you.
Andrew.
Thank
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
See you next week.